Once again, I am with Adam Allen, former Florida forward. And Adam, since the last time we talked, Florida's played 2 games. And we'll start with the first one. They played Vanderbilt last week. It was senior night, and with a win, Florida would win another SEC championship and secure an unbeaten home record. Florida started out a little slow, though. What do you think caused that? Do you think nerves or emotions might have played a role in that?
Well, I mean, maybe the senior night distraction had something to do with it. I know, like, before the game, those guys were worried about, like, the people, their family, if they were showing up or going to be there, and maybe not have been focused on the game when they came out. But, I mean, other than that, though, we after you saw that lapse in defense, first half, second half, we just turned it on, clicking on all cylinders, so.
Right, and that was the next thing I was going to ask you. Florida really did pick it up in the second half. They won the game by 26. Each senior had his own special moment. What do you think went through each of their minds as the clock was winding down?
I'm sure there was a big feeling of elation and happiness, I'm sure. Just to know, to be sitting atop the SEC, you just clinched the title out of everybody in that conference. All the hard work that you put in that off season, like it just feels like it paid off in that moment. It's a pretty special feeling. I'm sure those guys will remember that for the rest of their lives.
Florida appeared to be the better team than Vanderbilt the entire way. And, they played like it in 2 different ways. In the first half, they played like it with the wrong sort of confidence, and they were just, showboating a little bit, or so it seemed. I'm not really sure, but it looked like they were kind of going through the motions a little bit, and the score showed that. They were only up 10, and the second half they played with the confidence that, hey, we got this. We know we can do this. Is it a little disturbing that you're seeing both of these things at this time of the year?
Disturbing, no. Maybe, I mean, it is cause for concern because when you get in the NCAA tournament, it's just one game. If you have a bad game, you come out there, you're not focused, you're done. But I think this team understands, they've been humbled. They've had a couple tough road losses this year. But I think they're mature enough to understand what they have to do to win.
All right, and that's going to lead us to the next question about Kentucky. Before we get to the entire game recap, it really seemed to me that the game did not mean a whole lot in the standings. Of course, Florida had already clinched the SEC outright. They're the number 1 seed in the tournament. It would have been nice to win that game, but it really didn't mean a whole lot, and Florida played like it. All right, again, a little disturbing, or less so because, it didn't mean as much.
That game right there, that rub Kentucky as a trap game. That's a game going into there that, Kentucky's going to come out there. They have their whole season on the line. If they lose, they're probably done. They need this win to get to the NCAA tournament. They really just had more energy and put more effort out there than we did that night. And, they played great defense on us. And that stretch at the end of the game, that really killed us when we couldn't hit a shot. I think we missed 11 shots in a row. They were playing really good defense. We had some shots we could have hit, but we didn't hit those shots. And, you saw what happened. We ended up losing the game. So.
Right. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the Kentucky game because, as you said, it didn't mean a whole lot. Does it really bother you that Florida is starting to sort of tumble at the end of the season?
I didn't like this. I would have liked to get one of those wins, either at Tennessee or Kentucky, or Missouri. But I don't know if it's a problem. I'm not worried about it. I think these guys are mature enough to go out there, and when the lights come on in NCAA tournament time, they know what's at stake, and they know how to play together, and they're going to come out prepared and focused. Coach Donald's a great coach on March Madness.
Now, Florida's going to play in the SEC tournament. In the first round, they're going to play the winner of Georgia and LSU. They've beaten both of them this season. They beat Georgia twice. Do you see that either of those opponents as a sort of trap?
Both of those, they're SEC opponents, and I mentioned before, both those teams, if they can come out and hit shots, it could cause problems for us. But we just have to come out and, put clamps on defensively. Say that's how we're going to win the game. If we're not hitting shots that night, but I really don't think that we'll lose either of those games. I at least like to think that, and hopefully we get to see Kentucky again. That'd be nice.
Anybody? You said Kentucky. Anybody else you'd like to play?
I would like to see. I don't know. I would like to see Tennessee in the first couple rounds. I think we don't, but Tennessee in the championship game would be a really fun one to watch.
Yeah, they're a 6 seed. We wouldn't see them until the championship game. But yeah. Okay. I think we both agree that right now Florida has no business being a 1 seed. You know that they've lost too many times. We kept saying each week, if they win out, they're out of chances for a 1. They could probably still get a 2 seed. Then again, Florida's only won 1 game away from Gainesville since January. 2 questions. Are you concerned about the road setting for the SEC tournament, and how much do you think the SEC tournament performance from Florida could affect their seeding?
Well, I think if we come out there and we win the whole thing, it'll definitely help us our chances for a 2 seed. I don't think we can still get a 1 seed. But as far as playing on that court, away from home, on a neutral floor, I don't think it's going to be an advantage for either of the teams we play, unless we play Kentucky, because it would be a whole sea of Kentucky fans. But with a neutral floor setting, I don't think that once you get these teams away from their home, their home stands, their home rims, both teams are playing in the same environment, and I don't think they'll have anything to do with the game.
All right. Give me one player to keep my eye out for in the SEC tournament. Who do you think is going to break out for Florida?
Well, Will hasn't been 100%. He's just now getting back to full speed. So look for him to be a lot more active defensively in the NCAA tournament, especially in our full court pressure. Kenny Boynton, he hasn't been hitting a lot of his shots. He's had a tough stretch of shooting lately. Look for him to start knocking down some shots and getting his confidence back.
Well, how much of an impact do you think the late season performance is going to have on the Gators?
I think it's going to be Billy Donovan telling to him and then translating it onto the court is the issue. They're going to have to find a way to come, to play the way he wants them to play and totally buy into his system. And if they do that and they trust him and give all their energy, it should be fine.
All right, time for the SEC tournament prediction.
We'll see Kentucky in the championship and Kentucky by 10.
Okay, that sounds like a good prediction. I'll say Florida wins. I know it's a risky projection, but I do think that they're going to use it as a springboard to March Madness. I do think Billy Donovan's going to have them ready to play, and I do think they're going to come out and try. Unlike some teams who just walk through their conference tournament not really caring, because I know they're in the tournament. I really do think Florida's going to care. All right, Adam, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and I will talk to you next week after the SEC championship. We will break down the SEC tournament and the Gators' path through March Madness. Thank you, Adam.
Sounds good, Dale. I'll talk to you then.
All right.